Nightfall survival tactics that help you not freeze to death when everything goes wrong. The cold doesn't ask questions, it doesn't negotiate. When the grid collapses, when the wind slices through your clothes like razor wire, when the dark rolls in like a predator, you either know how to keep your heat or you pay in frostbite and confusion. And because you're here with the Prepper's Survival Blueprint crew, vibing with the kind of people who want every edge they can get, hit that subscribe button before we dive in. Because what you learn in the next few minutes might literally keep your heart beating when the world itself is trying to shut you down. Survival isn't about bravado. It's about physics, strategy, a little creativity, and a whole lot of stubborn not today cold. So let's get into the techniques that keep your internal furnace burning even when everything else fails. Most people think cold weather survival means hunting for fire. But fire is a diva. It wants fuel, dry air, no wind, perfect conditions. Your body, on the other hand, is always working. Even right now, you're producing around 100 watts of heat just by being alive. That's a personal heater running non-stop, powered by calories and sheer human determination. The problem is that the cold is a thief. It steals your warmth through conduction when you sit on frozen ground, convection when the wind tears it off your skin, and radiation when every inch of you bleeds infrared energy into the abyss. You don't need to make more heat. You need to stop losing the heat you already have. The moment you understand that, the entire survival game changes. Layers aren't fashion. They're insulation systems. Your base layer should keep moisture off your skin because wetness accelerates heat loss dramatically. Wool and synthetic fabrics shine here because they stay warm, even when damp. Cotton? Cotton is betrayal. Once it's wet, it's basically a cold sponge. Over that goes your insulation layer, your heat trap. Think fleece, wool, even improvised materials like crumpled newspaper or dry leaves sandwiched between shirts. Anything that traps still air becomes a microclimate you control. The final layer should be something windproof. Could be a proper shell jacket. Could be a trash bag you punch holes into. Could be a tarp wrapped tight. The goal is simple. Block the wind at all costs, because convection is a ruthless enemy. And here's the trick most people skip. You can stuff insulation right into the clothes you're wearing. Grass, shredded foam, cardboard padding. If it traps air, it works. You're not dressing to impress. You're dressing to stay alive. When everything around you has gone wrong, no tent, no sleeping bag, no fire, you can still build warmth out of what the land gives you. A debris hut isn't glamorous, it's not spacious, it's not comfortable, but it works. Start with a long branch and rest it waist-high against a tree or a large rock. That's your ridgepole, the spine of your shelter. Lean, smaller branches along both sides, like ribs. You're building a skeleton for a cocoon. Now bury it. Leaves, pine needles, moss, grass. Layer them thick until the structure looks like a giant lump in the forest floor. 2 feet of debris is the minimum. Remember, you're not building a roof. You're building insulation. Crawl inside and don't be scared when it feels tight. That claustrophobic space is exactly what keeps the warmth from escaping. Your body heats the air around you, and the debris keeps that air from running away. Always insulate the ground. Even one night lying directly on the cold earth drains heat faster than hypothermia can make you delirious. Those shiny mylar blankets everyone laughs at in cheap survival kits? Well, they're not toys. They actually reflect your own infrared radiation straight back into your body. But you have to use them right. Don't just throw one over yourself like a cape and expect magic to happen. Wind will rip it apart, and your heat will just escape out the bottom. Instead, layer it inside your clothing where air movement is pretty limited. Place it beneath you as a ground barrier, or tape it inside a shelter to turn the walls into a giant reflector. And if you don't have mylar, honestly, any reflective material works. Foil, car sunshades, reflective bubble wrap. The idea is to throw your heat back at you instead of letting it vanish into the night. If you can heat water, you can build a rechargeable heater that lasts through the night. Just fill a durable bottle with hot water, not boiling, wrap it in cloth and press it against your core inside your insulation. Water holds heat longer than air, longer than rocks, longer than almost anything you can warm up quickly. It keeps your core temperature steady, and when it cools, you drink it. Hydration is survival. If you can't heat water externally, use your body to warm it slowly. Tuck a bottle against your stomach or under an armpit. Once it's warm, rotate it toward your feet or hands. You become a human heat pump, distributing warmth where it's needed most without burning more energy. Cardboard isn't trash. Not tonight. Cardboard is pressed layers of air pockets, and air pockets are insulation. Lay it under you when forced to sleep on cold surfaces. Stuff it into your jacket for instant padding. If you're trapped inside a vehicle, which is basically a metal freezer in winter, line every interior surface with cardboard. The difference between a frigid metal box and a warm survival pod can sometimes be measured in these improvised walls. Cardboard blocks, drafts, stops conduction, and traps your body heat where it belongs. Survival strips away pride. If you're with others, get close. Two bodies together conserve more heat than two bodies apart. Wrap up in the same blankets. Share a sleeping bag. Humans and animals have survived winters like this for thousands of years. Penguins huddle. Wolves huddle. You're not too good for it. If you're alone, curl tight into a fetal position. Make your shape smaller so there is less surface area leaking warmth. And if you have a dog, you're basically sleeping beside a living furnace with a built-in coat. You don't win against cold by fighting it with brute force. You win by outsmarting it. Layer smart, build tight shelters, reflect your heat, insulate the ground, move heat from your core to your extremities with intention. Use trash, use physics, use every bit of human stubbornness you've got. When dawn finally breaks and you're still warm enough to move, it's not because chance favoured you. It's because you played the odds, used your brain, and outmaneuvered the cold itself. If this helped sharpen your survival edge, hit subscribe, share this with someone you want alive in a crisis, and stay ready, because the world never warns you before it shakes.